Okay, so I heard another DJ's podcast recently. They said something pretty interesting that I thought about, and I said to myself, when is it do I take more risk? When it's less people or when it's more people? The only reason I'm asking this question is because if you've got a room of like 200 people, or if you've got a room, I'm not really going to say kids because kids are always funny. So not a prom, but you got a wedding that's 200 people. If you've got a wedding that's 200 people versus a wedding that's 60 people, which one are you more or likely going to take chances on? Are you going to give your normal set and routine to the 60 people? Or are you going to give it to the 200 people? See, my thing is, I think that in some cases, when you don't have as many people, but it's got to be low. It's got to be really low. I think with 60 people, I'm going to give them my routine. I think if there's 60 to 70 people, I'm going to give them a routine. I'm going to give them, stuff that I know works because I'm limited on how many people are going to be able to dance. Now, if there's only, 10 people in the room, I'm going to take every chance I can possibly take. Try out all different kinds of stuff. I'm not going to take as many risks with 60 or 70. If there's 200 guests, 150 or 200 guests, I've had 300 people weddings before. So those are interesting. But 150 to 200 people, I think I'm going to probably take chances there too. The reason I would take chances there too is because there's more chance of me hitting on that chance that I took. Does that make sense? Like, okay, let's say I took a risk and played a song I don't normally play, or a risk of a song that I haven't, put in the rotation and stuff in quite some time, and I'm wondering whether or not it's going to hit. In most cases, when you've got that many people, you can probably hit at least 15 to 20, maybe even 30 people if it's a okay risk. If it's a risk that turns out as a banger, you're going to get in the hundreds that's going to stay on there and dance to it. But if you're taking a risk and it's a low risk and it's like, oh, it may work, but it's just kind of okay, you'll probably still have about 20, maybe 30 people, still trying to vibe to that. And you probably just want to get out of it at the first course. A problem that I've been running into a lot lately is I've been doing so much quick mixing lately, going in and out of songs until it's become kind of a habit for me to do that. And then when I go on Twitch, I'm like, it's hard for me to sit and wait for two verses of a song. And I have to break myself out of that because every event is not going to want a quick mix. I know that these brides are coming to me now, and every single Zoom meeting, they want me to hit songs. They want me to throw as many songs at them as I could possibly get. And they want mashups and mix-ups. And sometimes I get kind of embogged in that, and I need to be able to switch it up. Those chances that you're able to throw in here and there, those are the ones that you have to find out whether or not it's going to hit, but you have to sometimes I only find that out if I'm playing a different type of gig. Like if I'm playing something other than a wedding, because I don't know. I feel like sometimes when I take a chance at a wedding, that if I bomb on that one, if I lose the floor, then that means I just have to build it all the way back up. And I hate losing the floor. I hate it. I can let a few people come off and some people come back on. That's fine. But if I take a chance and it clears the floor, that's a nightmare for me. I just hate rebuilding. I also hate starting off dance floors and people dance into like the first two songs and then the floor clears. I hate that. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. I've had some slow starting dance floors. I really and truly have. I think that when you take a chance with a large crowd, I just think that as long as it's within the scope of other stuff that's already worked, you should be good. You know, so if you're playing oldies and you're at 125 BPMs, throw in an oldie, a chance oldie, 120, right around 125, whether it be 120, 130 BPMs, but make it an oldie and take that chance. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be able to quick mix out of it if it doesn't work. You know, you give them a verse and then you come out. I had this problem when it came to Gimme, Gimme, Gimme. I know you guys know that by ABBA. When that song was hitting, and it still is hitting, but when that song was hitting for everybody else, when I played it, people looked at me like, what is this? You know, but I knew it was popular. I knew people were going to ask for it eventually. I was just trying to be a front runner in my area and try to put it out there. But I always had a song ready after that to come out of the first verse right after she does the chorus. I'm like ready to come out of it because people weren't vibing to it. They just weren't. They kind of looked at me like, ugh. They did the same thing with Murder on the Dance Floor when it came out. When I was playing that in its early stages, you know, when it was on TikTok and it was big, when I played that in its early stages, people kind of looked at me like, ugh. But as it gained popularity, it fit right into the rotation. Same thing with Lil Boo Thing. You know, it did the same thing. So I'm not saying that those are chance records. Of course, you want to implement those in your sets because those are popping off on social media and there's a good chance that your audience has seen it. I'm just saying have something ready. Have something ready just in case, because it may take a few gigs for your chance to catch on. I know when Nick Spinelli was challenging everybody to, you know, step out and put some different rock and stuff in. You know, I took chances with rock music. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know a whole lot of it. I know the ones that I know, but I don't know enough to grab one and try one. So, you know, I've tried some different rock songs and I'm always ready to come out of it. You know, I'll play one that everybody knows. I'll play a chance song and then I'll hit them with one that everybody knows just to make sure I cover my tracks. And now some of those songs are in a 3-part rotation. So I'm in my rock portion of the evening and I've hit 3 back to back. And what I thought was a chance has now become a part of my rotation. So that's why I say, you know, you're still going to want to take chances, but you're going to take chances with larger crowds. Be careful taking chances when you're 60, 75 people deep, because if you lose, what have I always said? If you have 60 or 75 people attending a wedding, probably only about 20, 25, maybe 30 at most will dance all night. And if you take a chance with them and you lose that floor and you've got like 4 or 5 people, it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. You definitely don't want that. So let me know in the comments what you guys think below, whether or not, how do you estimate your chances? Do you take them with larger crowds? Do you take them with smaller crowds? Do you time it out? I mean, do you even care? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below so that I can just kind of get an idea, a filler for what you guys think. That was my philosophy on it. That's how I play music. I always watch my floors and I know where I can take risk at. I know when I can take big risk, and then I know when I can take, especially a requested risk, because a requested risk is, you know, a requested risk is when somebody comes up to you and say, hey, this right here is like, it's going to make the dance floor explode because this was our such and such from back in the day. And you're like, ooh, you know, I don't play that and stuff, but you throw it in there and it's like one of those that could kill the dance floor or could ignite it. So I definitely calculate where I want to do stuff like that.